Hi, if you enjoy our videos, visit our channel, hit subscribe to be notified whenever we post a new one. We post daily, by the way. Anyways, let's hear our next story. When I first enlisted in the Army, it was one of the proudest moments of my life. Emma, my girlfriend of 3 years, stood by my side, her eyes brimming with both pride and worry. We had been through so much together, and I knew that leaving her would be one of the hardest things I'd ever do. Before I left, Emma promised me countless times that she would wait for me, no matter what. "I'll be here when you get back," she said, her voice full of conviction. "I promise." The day I left, we held each other tight, our tears mingling as we said our goodbyes. "I'll come back to you," I whispered, trying to imprint the memory of her face in my mind. She nodded, her eyes filled with unshed tears. "I know you will. And I'll be right here, waiting." During my deployment, we stayed connected through letters, phone calls, and video chats. Each message from her was a lifeline, reminding me of the life I had waiting for me back home. We talked about our future, about the house we would buy and the family we would start. Those dreams kept me going through the toughest days. As the months went by, our communication became less frequent. My duties grew more demanding, and Emma seemed busier as well. There was a change in her voice, a distance that hadn't been there before. I tried to ignore it, attributing it to the strain of our separation. My deployment was supposed to last a full year, but an unexpected change in schedule allowed me to return home a month early. I decided to surprise Emma, imagining the joy on her face when she saw me. The thought of holding her again kept me going during the long journey back home. When I finally arrived in our hometown, my excitement was palpable. I dropped my bags at our apartment and decided to find Emma. I remembered her favorite park, a place where we had spent countless afternoons together. Hoping to find her there, I headed out, my heart racing with anticipation. As I approached the park, I saw Emma sitting on a bench. She was alone, but I noticed the distracted, almost expectant look on her face. I decided to call her, wanting to make the surprise even nastier. As the phone rang, I saw her reach into her bag and answer. "Hey, Ethan, how are you?" she answered, her voice sweet and familiar. "Hi, Emma. I was just thinking about you and wanted to hear your voice," I said, trying to keep my tone light. "I'm actually really busy right now with my mom," she lied, her eyes darting around nervously. "Can I call you back later?" Before I could respond, she hung up abruptly. I watched as she checked her watch, clearly waiting for someone. A few minutes later, a man approached, and they hugged, sharing a brief kiss. My heart sank. Feeling a surge of anger, I called her back immediately. She answered, sounding slightly annoyed. "Ethan, I told you I'm busy." "Busy kissing and holding another man?" I snapped. "I saw everything, Emma." Her gasp on the other end of the line was audible. "Ethan, please, let me explain." "Don't bother," I interrupted, hanging up on her. I left the park, my mind racing with anger and betrayal. When I reached our apartment, I went straight to our bedroom and started packing her clothes into a suitcase, my hands shaking with rage. Moments later, I heard the door open and Emma rushed in, her face streaked with tears. "Ethan, please," she begged, falling to her knees beside me. "Let me explain. It wasn't what it looked like." "Really?" I snapped, throwing another handful of clothes into the suitcase. "Because it looked like you were with another man, after promising me you would wait." "I was lonely," she sobbed. "I didn't mean for this to happen. Please, give me another chance." "No," I said firmly, zipping up the suitcase. "I trusted you, Emma. We had plans, dreams, and you threw it all away. You have 3 hours to be gone. When I come back, I don't want to see you here." "Ethan, don't do this," she pleaded, grabbing my arm. "I love you. I made a mistake. Please forgive me." I shook her off, stepping back. "No, it's over. Pack your things and leave." With that, I left the apartment, slamming the door behind me. I drove around aimlessly, trying to make sense of everything that had happened. After 3 hours, I returned home, hoping she would be gone. When I walked in, I found Emma still there, sitting on the couch with her face buried in her hands. She looked up as I entered, her eyes red and swollen from crying. "Ethan, please," she begged, rushing towards me. "I made a mistake. I love you. Don't throw everything away over this. Please, forgive me." I looked at her, feeling a mixture of sorrow and anger. "No, Emma, I can't forgive you. You broke my trust and I can't be with someone who lies and cheats. You need to go." Her sobs grew louder, but I remained resolute. "Please," she whispered one last time, but I turned away. "Goodbye, Emma," I said, my voice cold and final. "Leave." As the door closed behind her, I felt a wave of relief mixed with sadness. The future I had envisioned was shattered, but I knew I had to move forward. I would heal, rebuild, and eventually find someone who truly deserved my love. For now, I needed time to mend my broken heart and find my way back to the dreams I once had.